You open your phone because you need some peace and quiet, but instead you're hit with the latest outrage, or comparison, or drama, or weird. And then you close it and feel worse than before. This is what the Stoics would say about social media. There are three things we can't control: death, others, and the past. Everything else is up to us. When we choose to stop reacting to things that are none of our concern, when we focus on what we can control, that's when we have peace. We all get sucked into social media's dopamine cycle of reward and notification, a like, a new follower. But what if instead we could use these moments to reinforce our sense of purpose and mission in life? What if we stopped chasing likes and instead focused on living a life worth living? If we're honest, maybe we all suffer from a fear of missing out. We see others having fun and we want what they have. But the Stoics had a different perspective. They understood that comparing ourselves to others was a path to unhappiness. Epicurus said, "Each man is the architect of his own future, so let him make it a good one." In an age where everyone is obsessed with getting more followers and likes, we forget that true happiness comes from within. It's not about the number of people who like us, but about the depth of our own contentment. What if we took a page from the Stoics' book and embraced the beauty of simplicity? What if we started saying no to the endless stream of distractions and yes to what truly matters? When we do this, we reclaim our time and attention, which Seneca said were the twin pillars of our happiness. If you've ever found yourself feeling anxious or overwhelmed by social media, know that you're not alone. But there's something we can do about it. In this video, we'll talk about what the Stoics, those ancient philosophers who lived over 2,000 years ago, had to say about dealing with the ups and downs of life. The first thing we need to understand is that the Stoics believed that the key to happiness lay in our ability to focus on what we can control. Now, I know it sounds simple, but trust me, it's not always easy to do. Think about it. We spend so much time worrying about things that are completely beyond our control, like the actions of others, the economy, the weather, and a million other things that we just can't influence. But here's the thing. According to the Stoics, it's this preoccupation with external events that leads to stress, anxiety, and unhappiness. So how do we break free from this cycle? Well, the Stoics believed that the answer lay in focusing our attention on what we can control. For example, instead of worrying about the negative comments we might receive on a social media post, we can focus on the quality of the post itself, whether it is something we're proud of and something that aligns with our values. Instead of worrying about the actions of others, we can focus on our own behavior and how we respond to those around us. But it's not just about focusing on what we can control. It's also about letting go of what we can't. Think about it. When we try to control everything, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Things don't always go the way we want them to. And when they don't, we feel upset, frustrated, even angry. But what if we embraced the idea that some things are simply beyond our control, and that's okay? What if we learn to accept the things we cannot change and focus our energy on the things we can? That's when we'll find true peace. The second thing we need to remember is that the Stoics believed in living in the present moment. They knew that dwelling on the past or worrying about the future was a surefire way to miss out on the beauty of the present. How often do we find ourselves doing this? We get caught up in the whirlwind of deadlines, appointments, and to-do lists, and we forget to appreciate the present moment. We ruminate over past mistakes or worry about future uncertainties, and in doing so, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to experience the richness of now. But the Stoics had a different perspective. They saw the present moment as a precious gift, something to be cherished and embraced. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, wrote in his personal journal, "You could stop at any moment the pursuit of what is ahead, what lies ahead, and you could rest in what you already have." He was reminding himself to be content with what he had, to appreciate the present moment rather than always chasing after something more. How can we apply this to our lives today? Well, it starts with mindfulness, paying attention to the present moment without judgment or distraction. It means taking a deep breath and appreciating the beauty of a sunset or the laughter of a lover one. It means savoring the taste of food or the warmth of the sun on our skin. It's about finding joy in the little things, the small moments that make life so precious. But it's not just about enjoying the present moment. It's also about being prepared for it. The Stoics believed that part of living in the present was accepting that we could unpredict the future. We can't control everything that happens to us. So instead of worrying about the what-ifs, the Stoics encourage us to focus on what we can do now. This brings us back to the idea of controlling what we can. If we find ourselves worrying about the future, we can remind ourselves that our worry isn't changing the outcome. It's not making the future any more predictable. It's just adding unnecessary stress to the present. Instead, we can focus on what we can do now, on the steps we can take to prepare for whatever may come our way. We can save money now to prepare for unexpected expenses later. We can learn new skills to help us navigate future challenges. We can strengthen our relationships now, so that we have a support system to rely on down the road. By focusing on what we can do now, we not only reduce our worry about the future, we also empower ourselves to face whatever comes our way with confidence and resilience. Now, I know this might all sound easier said than done, but the Stoics believed that with practice, it could become second nature. They didn't believe in perfection. They understood that we would stumble and fall, but they also believed that we could pick ourselves up and start again. It's not about never worrying or never dwelling on the past. It's about recognizing when we're doing it and bringing our focus back to the present moment. When we do this, we'll find that we're better able to appreciate the beauty of life, to savor the present moment, and to face whatever comes our way with courage and resilience. The third thing we need to remember is that the Stoics believed in accepting what happens. Life isn't always fair. Sometimes good things happen to bad people, and sometimes bad things happen to good people. It's just the way life goes. Instead of complaining or getting angry, the Stoics believed that we should accept what happens with grace and dignity. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When we encounter obstacles or challenges, instead of seeing them as a setback, The Stoics encouraged us to see them as an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become stronger. But how do we put this into practice? Well, it starts with a shift in mindset. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We can ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? It's not easy, but the Stoics believed that it's possible. Think about it. When we complain or resist what's happening, we only make things worse. They believed that we have the power to choose our attitude in the face of adversity. Think about it. When we complain or resist what's happening, we only make things worse. We prolong our suffering. But when we accept what happens with grace, when we make the best of a bad situation, we free ourselves from unnecessary pain. Of course, this doesn't mean that we shouldn't try to improve our situation or help others. It just means that we shouldn't waste energy on complaining, resisting, or blaming. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with negative news and images, it's easy to lose hope, to feel like the world is against us. But the Stoics believed that hope was a virtue, that it was something to be cultivated, not abandoned. Epicurus said, hope is a waking dream, a vision of the good life. Hope gives us the strength to keep going when things are tough. It helps us to see the possibility of a brighter future, even in the darkest of times. Hope isn't just about wishing for a better future. It's also about working towards it. Hope isn't passive. It's active. It's forward-looking. It's about setting goals and working towards them, believing that we can achieve them, even when the path ahead seems long and difficult. Seneca put it beautifully. All the time you possess is truly yours. But how frequently do we squander it? When we think about how we spend our time, do we feel satisfied? Or do we see areas where we could improve? Seneca reminds us that every minute of every day is a precious gift. It's an opportunity to make progress on our goals, to move closer to the kind of person we want to be. It's easy to waste time. It's easy to get distracted by the latest social media trend or to spend hours on tasks that are aligned with our goals. But when we're mindful of how we spend our time, when we make conscious choices about how to allocate our attention and energy, that's when we truly begin to live a life of purpose and meaning. Seneca said that the greatest wealth is to live a life that's rich in meaning, in purpose, in love, and in connection. True wealth isn't measured by material possessions or social status, by the depth and quality of our experiences, our relationships, and our contributions to the world. What does this mean for us today? It means that we should focus on what truly matters. It means that we should invest our time and energy in the things and people that bring us joy, that align with our values, that make us feel fulfilled. It's about setting boundaries, about saying no to the things that do and serve us, so that we can say yes to the things that do. When we do this, when we start measuring our success by the richness of our experiences, our relationships, and our contribution, that's when we begin to live a life of true wealth. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What are your strategies for staying connected without getting lost in the noise? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It's free and a great way to stay connected. Thanks for watching.